settlement for your property damage claim. He enjoys helping people fight the insurance companies because he disagrees with how they treat property owners. Mike is here to do things the right way and help you the best he can. Mike guarantees you he will be honest with you, understanding, and helpful. Call Claim Squad Public Insurance Adjusters today at 754-252-5438.
You are listening to the Ask the Experts show with host Steve-O. We will be right back with more experts in the field of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Join us every Thursday from 6 p.m. Now, get ready for more Ask the Experts.
Hey, we are back with more. This is the Ask the Expert show. I'm your host, Steve-O. Our show's been running 7 years now. And if you were tuned in last week, you heard me probably make a little bit of a fool of myself because I did about 80% of the show myself.
Really? What was that?
You were here.
Talking to you?
Yeah.
Not 80%, no, like 40%.
And thank God for Freddie because he had some good questions. Only thing is, though, our expert couldn't be here because I probably screwed up. But he's here now. Listen to the name of the company, Claim Squad. Now you wonder, what is Claim Squad? Well, it's exactly what it says. You know, when you have a claim, a homeowner's claim, and they have these just brutal negotiators. Well, you need a brutal negotiator also for you, and that's why we've got Claim Squad, and we have the owner, Mike Keeler.
Steve-O, very nice meeting you.
Hey, buddy, we've been emailing back and forth. I was so glad to get you because we have had so many listeners say, how come you don't have a public adjuster on your show? And a lot of people didn't even know about what a public adjuster does, how you charge. Oh, you're going to learn so much tonight. So, Mike, tell us about your company, first of all.
Sure. So the Claim Squad Public Adjusters, we're in Lighthouse Point, Florida. However, we work throughout the entire state. I've got clients from Pensacola down to Miami and down to the Keys. So we're really all across the whole state. And I found that really utilizes the best of our ability and helps so many people because a lot of people in so many different counties, there's not a lot of public adjusters in certain areas.
That's right.
Miami, there's a great concentration of public adjusters. So when you find out the further north you go, the less public adjusters there are. And a lot of people probably
That's
know
surprising because, we're in Tampa also. Yeah. Boy, they get a lot of weather there.
Sure. But then you have a lack of public adjusters over in that specific area. You made a great point about a lot of people not knowing what public adjusters are. Surprisingly, though, in Florida, there's a greater percentage of people that do know about public adjusters as opposed to that nationwide. Now, to piggyback that, probably the reason why, because there's more claims, homeowners claims in Florida than any other state in the entire nation.
Is it because of our weather?
Yeah. So we have the most fire claims, hail claims. I'm sorry, not hail, tornado. Mm-hmm. But they're not a high degree of the F5, F4s, but the lower ones.
Right.
Lightning claims. Florida's lightning capital of the world, obviously because of all the storms. So you got the hurricanes, you got tropical storms. So all that encompasses, and water damage and mold claims are huge in Florida.
Well, I got to tell you, I am so glad that we could maneuver to get you on tonight because, one of the first questions that I have is about this new property damage law that went active on July the 1st and how it's going to impact homeowners.
Yeah, great question. And as a matter of fact, I'm open to any question that you may have.
Okay.
As we go along. So July 1st, 2021, there was a new bill passed in both the House, Florida House, and the Florida Senate, and then they combined them. And really it targeted roofing claims. So a lot of these roofing contractors you may or may not have heard, but some companies would go around a neighborhood and go up to a certain amount of houses and knock on the door and say, hey, we noticed that you have an older roof. We could probably find some damage.
Right.
So then they have the client sign an AOB or the homeowner, which is an assignment of benefits. They then represent that individual or homeowner on the claim for the roof. But here's the issue with that. Well, what happened is the insurance company would pay some, but not the whole thing. They signed the contract with the roofer, and now they're kind of obligated for the rest of that price.
Do they have to stay with that roof?
According to the contractor, and people don't know that.
Okay.
Yeah. So the laws really were because of these roofing contractors and what insurance companies in Florida thought were fraudulent roof claims. They complained about all the litigation in Florida, and we'll talk about that. So the new laws actually are going to hurt the homeowners because you have to do a few things, and it's really supposed to deter attorneys from accepting some of these cases. So now they've really tried to pigeonhole the attorneys in the way they charge. What before the insurance companies since 1893, if a person collected $1 more than the insurance company offered, the insurance company would have to pay for the attorney fees.
Okay.
Now that's kind of out the window to some degree, depending on how much the attorney demanded. Without getting too complicated, I would advise people to highly look at an attorney contract if they happen to get an attorney for a homeowner claim.
I got to tell you, and we're going to get into how you get paid. A lot of people don't realize that you work on a contingency basis.
Correct.
But I got to just from personal experience, and I got to tell you, you know, for all those of you who wrote us saying, how come you don't have a public adjuster here? Because we have a lot of homeowners. And listen, it's just you want to make sure you get somebody who's really good because, look, they're going to go up against these high-powered negotiators, and their job is, as the insurance company, is to give you the least amount possible. So my sister-in-law, she had water damage, and it ruined a lot of the tile. So they wanted to just pay for the tile that was ruined, even though it was old tile and you really was going to be hard to match up. And they tried to pay her just on whether it was 10 tiles or what. And she got a public adjuster, and he came in and got her $40,000 more. Now, and you know, and I know not everybody has the same kind of claim, but this is what you do.
Correct.
You go in there, they don't even have to mess with it anymore. You go in because you know what has to be done, what the cost is, and they know that you know.
So, great story, and I think probably what that public adjuster did is took advantage of a Florida statute. It's called essentially the matching statute. So if
What's it called?
The matching statute.
Okay.
So it really relates to roofing tiles,
Yes.
kitchen tiles,
Right.
anywhere where there's tile. And if you have a little crack ruined by whatever damage you have, so in your sister or sister-in-law's case, it is whatever tile that is continuous. So if she had that going all the way in her kitchen, they have to replace everything if one tile's broke because you can't match it.
That's right.
So it is continuous. And you know what, for the people who's listening, if you're curious about a lot of different homeowner questions or looking for some answers, I have a YouTube channel, the Claim Squad Public Adjusters, with about 50 or 60 different videos on everything from
Wow.
what tips on how to settle your own claim, what to do if the insurance company denies your claim. So it's a great avenue. I got a phone call from a gentleman today who found one of my videos, and he had a citizen's claim, water damage. He's like, I saw your videos and I had to call you because I thought it was great information and I'm stuck here. So, but you're right. Public adjusters will go to bat. You have to find a good one because, like in any
Yes.
profession, there's good and there's bad.
And you know what? I got to tell you, how long have you been doing this for?
Well, I've been a public adjuster just for about 7 years.
Okay. Well, 7 years is a long time.
But I've been on the other side. So I worked for an insurance company.
Okay.
I was
That's
on,
even better.
I was on the dark side.
So I got to tell you, so when I was doing my research, I can't tell you how many schools are out there that I guess will teach you how to be a public adjuster. That's not the public adjuster I want. I want the guy who's been there for 7 years and has been on the other side too.
I have a unique background. So I started off in 1993 working for ITT Hartford.
Okay.
After that, I did a brief stint in the military, came back, went back into ITT Hartford, where I investigated fire claims based on some military experience. And then I was independent adjuster for a while. I went to go work for a law firm in these property damage claims. And I also became an expert witness where attorneys would come to me and said, hey, Mike, we've got this claim. Mostly it was fire damage related. We need your expertise to go in there and evaluate everything. So I've been on both sides, both the good side, the people side now, and then previously on the insurance company side. And I spent time auditing files for an insurance company as an independent contractor. And my job was to find out of 100 and something files, how many of those claims they overpaid. Well,
Wow.
guess how many I found? And I am not kidding. It was about 113,
That
120.
overpaid?
They want to know how many they overpaid on.
Wow.
Guess how many?
I don't know.
One. And it was a $13,000 claim that they
That's
overpaid
not a lot.
by about 4,000.
Wow. You know, I want to tell everybody what you cover, because I know it's, leaks, fire, and smoke, right?
Correct.
Someone breaks into your house.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just hurricanes.
No. The majority of claims in Florida are water damage
Mold?
and mold damage. Those are the two highest claims in Florida. And then you would talk about roof damage claims, so roof leaks.
Okay.
Now, the thing that people tend to get in trouble with when they call their insurance company, everybody wants to do it themselves, right?
Right,
This is the day and age of doing it yourself.
Well, you know what? They think they're going to save some money. That's why they do it.
And here's the thing that hurts people. They're honest. And in some cases, calling your insurance company and being honest about your homeowner's claim
Right.
is, and I'm not saying you have to lie, but what I'm saying is, and I'm specifically to roof claims, nobody gets up on their roof. How do
No.
you know if a storm from a year ago where there was high winds didn't damage? You don't know. And when you look at it and when you know the intrinsic underlying elements of roof damage claims, you can have a couple spots where there's a little cracks. And then the contraction of the heat and the expansion, that's why you get leaks 6 months later and not immediately.
Freddie, you should be listening to this. He is unbelievable. He is unbelievable.
So the issue with the roof damage claims is that individuals will call homeowners and be like, we just had a big storm and I've got a leak coming in. Well, rain isn't covered. You got to have a wind. And that's what the biggest tip I give people all the time. Make sure you don't use rain as your reasoning why you got a leak.
People don't read their policies, do
No.
they?
No. And the last few years have really gone against Florida homeowners. And I feel bad for so many people.
Well, I
So
know
many
it's,
different-
people have been dropped by their insurance company, and the rates are going up also.
So
They
you-
don't want to take any chances at all, do they?
No, Southern
They just want to
Fidelity.
make money.
Yeah, Southern Fidelity asked for an increase last year of 30%. They just recently asked for
Wow, that's a
another
lot.
increase of 30%. So the regulators in Florida actually said, no, wait a minute, Southern Fidelity, you're not even using your own numbers to calculate the reasoning for the increase. They're using nationwide numbers to try and, so what they use is companies that have went under and throw in the successful companies, and so when you average it all out, but that's not necessarily their numbers. So regulators have been asking them for their numbers, and they're not giving it.
Mike, give everybody your phone number.
Sure, 754-252-5438. My email is simple, theclaimsquad@gmail.com.
We're going to go to break. When we come back, we have more with Mike Keeler from Claim Squad. We'll be right back.
Stop trying to fight with your homeowner insurance company when you have accrued damages. Their job is to pay you the least amount possible. This is why you need the Claim Squad Public Adjusters, owned and operated by Mike Keeler. Mike is a public adjuster in Florida who helps families with their property damage insurance claims. When you work with Mike, you can take comfort knowing he will help prevent the insurance company from taking advantage of you. They help families whose homes are damaged by pipe breakage, roof leaks, storms, air condition leaks, fire, rain, tornadoes, hurricanes, and vandalism. Like Mike always says, he promises to help you in every possible way to get the best settlement for your property damage claim. He enjoys helping people fight the insurance companies because he disagrees with how they treat property owners. Mike is here to do things the right way and help you the best he can. Mike guarantees you he will be honest with you, understanding, and helpful. Call Claim Squad Public Insurance Adjusters today at 754-252-5438. We are back now with more of the Ask the Experts radio show, proudly sponsored by board-certified family law attorney Tina Lewert of Lewert Law LLC, covering South Florida.
And we're back. This is the Ask the Expert show with you every Thursday night from 6 to 7. This is our 7th year with Ask the Experts. We're on 1470 AM, 96.9 FM, and 95.3 FM. And I would have to say for at least a year, you had been asking us to add a public adjuster. It's kind of like that in all of our markets. Tampa's the same way. And it's not so easy to find the good ones. And I got to tell you, I really lucked out with this one. The name of the company is Claim Squad. And we've got the owner with us tonight, Mike Keeler. And he just shared with me for the first time, he has been on both sides. He worked for the insurance company, and now he's working for you. And, let's talk about people don't understand how you get paid or don't get paid.
Yeah, well, there's no fees, no costs up front. And I think that's the biggest question people always have. So we get paid by a percentage of whatever we collect for the homeowner. Now, people may say, well, wait a minute, if the cost to repair, rebuild, or replace everything is $20,000, you're going to be taking a fee. We have ways to go beyond that, and I'll leave it at that. So, for instance, a lot of times I get the individuals, the homeowners, deductible either waived or included in a settlement. On top of that, we include things that the insurance company doesn't see. You mentioned about the water damage in your sister's bathroom. So water damage is unique because you don't actually see everything, right? So the insurance company will say, well, wait a minute, that drywall over there, we see that's wet. Why are you including that part of the wall also? Well, just because you don't see it doesn't mean there's no damage. And I always use the analogy of the human body. Somebody can have cancer and look exactly fine on the outside, but the inside, unfortunately, has cancer cells flowing around the body. So with that being said, we use those type of strategies to include other areas that may not be damaged, but we're saying is damaged. And we put the insurance company into a bind and into a corner where they have to pay it or face litigation.
Exactly. What percent of your clients do you have to go to litigation with?
Well, I'll tell you, this past year, it's been a higher percentage than ever.
Okay.
The insurance companies have decided in Florida that they want to fight everything. As a matter of fact, I just recently saw a stat. In 2020, from January to June, there were 30,000 something lawsuits filed. Right now, 2021, there's over 45,000 lawsuits that have been filed. So it used to be about 30% of our claims went to litigation. Now it's floating in the 50%
Wow.
or higher, which is fine because a good public adjuster is going to set the claim up in a way that you can potentially have a bad faith claim against the insurance company if you have a good public adjuster and they know what they're doing. That's important because it puts stress on the insurance company that they're going to want to settle this, even if it goes to litigation. If they've got this bad faith lawsuit hanging over their head, and you do this by cooperating and getting together with the attorney and letting them know how you have set them up for a bad faith lawsuit. For instance, let me give you a perfect example. In Florida, there's a Florida statute, and everybody needs to hear this. The insurance company, within 90 days, they're supposed to either pay your claim or deny your claim.
They only have 90 days?
90 days.
Okay.
Now they don't have to pay the whole thing. They could pay you $5 and say, "Okay, we've satisfied the Florida statute." But then they're up against other things against them if that were to happen. So you have to make a good faith effort to settle the claim.
So this isn't, and you've been going forever on yours, and he's saying that they only have, did you know about the 90-day?
I had a partial payment.
Oh,
A partial payment,
Yeah.
$800 on a $160,000 claim.
So see,
That's
there
kind of what you just
they
said.
satisfied the requirement.
I didn't know that until
Yeah.
that was a thing.
Yeah, but you can still pursue them further, and there's
We filed
avenues.
litigation.
Yeah,
We're hoping
okay.
they settle.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they settle. I want to move on.
why is it that there's so many new policies being written?
Citizens have taken a big burden of the responsibility of writing and issuing policies this year. So they've gone from 2020 having a little bit over 400,000. At the end of the year, they're going to have over 800,000 new policies, double from 2020, which is huge.
Yeah.
The reasoning behind that, Citizens is known as the last chance company, basically in Florida. So if you get dropped, Citizens is the last resort, your last chance. So what's happening, there's this crisis due to that new law we were talking about.
Right.
Where these insurance companies are creating a false environment that there's a overabundance of claims and they're getting hurt by litigation and that there's havoc and chaos out there. So I believe wholeheartedly they've gotten together at some insurance meeting or what have you and said, okay, we're going to start dropping people. And it's happened. So when all of them are doing it, you know it's a concerted effort.
Right.
It's not just a couple companies dropping a few people, how it usually is every year. This is every company dropping people. And so Citizens, people then have to rush to find insurance, and Citizens is the last resort. So Citizens have picked up the majority of these policies. Citizens is backed by the state of Florida, so it's not good. Citizens is one of the worst insurance companies we have in Florida. So people are getting put into a bucket of a horrible insurance company for doing nothing wrong. And the insurance companies and the industry, when they look at Florida, are creating this false advertisement that the market's just haywire, it's crap, and there's nothing they can do about it.
So how about some tips for water damage?
Yeah. So some of the biggest tips I can give, and there's various ones for various claims. Water damage and mold damage, there are a few things that I like to give people, and I talked to a gentleman earlier this week about it. And the number one thing, when you report a claim, keep a few key words in mind. In every insurance policy, it states for water damage, repeated, constant leakage or seepage is not covered. So a lot of people will call up and say, boy, you know what? I didn't realize I had this leak for a long time. It was behind the bathroom tile, under the bathtub, underneath the sink. I had no idea. Then there's mold. That claim's going to get denied if you call it in like that. What you have to tell them, and I want everybody to remember these words, everything's current. So abrupt, suddenly, just happened. Okay? Use those words anytime you have a water damage claim and you call it in. Don't say anything about long term. It's been there for a while. I don't know how long. That will get your claim denied in a heartbeat.
That's amazing. Listen, you've sat through a lot. That's amazing.
Through it.
Wow. I don't think I did you much justice last week, but I did have the phone number right though. That is amazing. What about now? What about termites? Are they covered?
You know what? I have a couple termite claims. Termites themselves are not covered per se, the damage that they do,
Okay.
unless there's a collapse. So in your policy, you have coverage for a collapse. And few of the termite claims I currently have active, a ceiling has collapsed or floors. So then you get coverage. And so what you can do without getting too complicated, too into it, usually when you have a collapsed ceiling, you can somehow prove that the trusses are bad. And then what that means is that you have to get your roof removed. So a lot of times in the two claims that I have currently pending with termite damage, we have a structural engineer that's also involved.
Oh, okay.
Because we want him to say and find out if there was other damage to the structure of the property.
What about animals in the roof?
No. So raccoons,
Squirrels?
no, that's not covered.
Okay.
No. Now, if they cause, let's say they bit a wire and cause a fire,
Right.
and the ceiling, and not a big fire, but maybe a one-room fire, then it would be covered.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I got to tell you, this is the fastest 30 minutes. Mike will be back with us again next month. The name of the company is Claim Squad. Give everybody your phone number, Mike.
Sure. Thank you, Steve-O. 754-252-5438.
Wow, this has been an amazing 30-minute show. And listen, everybody stay safe this week. Get your vaccination. I never thought I'd say that, but get your vaccination. And we will see you next week with more Ask the Experts.
Thank you for tuning in today to Ask the Experts, sponsored by board-certified family law attorney Tina Lewert of Lewert Law, LLC. Join host Steve-O again next Thursday for more interviews with the top experts in South Florida in the areas of legal, health, financial, and home improvement on Ask the Experts.